Swami did not finish the food. He left a lot of food for us. 28 of us, I remember. 28 of us could have a taste of the food that Swami has eaten, or left for us to eat. So I think that was my happiest moment when I saw Swami. Sai Ram, sister, Sai Ram.
Could you just tell us, how do you get to know Baba?
I got to know Baba through my sister. So I'm actually a baptized Methodist. I went to her house near to Christmas. I saw the picture of Jesus Christ in the form of the Virgin Mary carrying a baby in the photo of Jesus Christ. It was purple in color. I don't know what it's called. Maybe it's vibhuti or whatever, but it was in purple. The form of Mother Mary carrying a baby. So that was my first experience with Baba. So I intended then to follow up on the teachings of Baba and to know more about Baba. That was how I started. After maybe 2-3 years, I started to be really involved, helping to do seva and all that.
Have you been to Puttapati?
Yes, I've been there 3 times. The first time was 2009. When I went to Puttapati, immediately when I went into the ashram, I forgot everything about Penang. It was a feeling of like, you are in heaven now. I forgot all about the problems in Penang. I forgot all my other problems. All of them were gone. Because we were first timers in Puttapati, we were ushered into the Omkar room during the morning darshan. And on the third bhajan, Swami came in with his hands raised. Everybody in the Omkar room, even with the Tibetan monks, everybody had started to cry, weeping with tears of joy, because that was actually my first time seeing God in a human form. And then after that, during the darshan itself, when they were doing the arati, Swami came in again, second time, and everybody started to weep again, cry again. So it was one of the happiest moments in my life, I think. We had a few experiences also inside party itself. We cooked for Swami in the Western canteen, Malaysian Chinese food. And then one of the dinners, Sister Rose got to take the food to Swami. When she came out from Swami's house, Swami did not finish the food. He left a lot of food for us. 28 of us, I remember. 28 of us could have a taste of the food that Swami has eaten, or left for us to eat. So I think that was my happiest moment when I saw Swami.
Is there any miraculous incidences that happened in your life that you can tell us?
Okay, a few years back, I and my wife, we went down to see our grandchildren who live in Kuala Lumpur. Usually we go down on Saturday and we come back Sunday evening. So as I was coming back from KL, like I said, when I reached the Ipoh highway, going uphill and then downhill, as I was going down here, I was already chanting the Laksa Achana. We go something like this, Om Sri Bhagavan Sathya Sai Baba Ye Namaha. So I fell asleep. My wife was already sleeping then, I fell asleep. Then I could feel that Swami woke me up. When I opened my eyes, there was a lorry in front of me, going downhill, how fast that it would be, going downhill. But there was a lorry in front of me, so I managed, to swerve to the right-hand side of the highway and came down safely. That was one of the incidents. One day, very early in the morning, I woke up with a very funny taste in my mouth. So when I woke up, I got up from the bed, I sat on my bed, and I looked at my bed sheet, it was full of blood, a big puddle of blood, real blood, on the bed sheet. So I went to the wash basin, I washed my mouth, and then also the blood just started coming out, So I woke up my wife and said, take me to the hospital, I said. I don't know why, I'm having a lot of blood coming out from my mouth. So she took me to the hospital. The nearest hospital was about 10 minutes away. So when we went there, I got myself registered and everything. Then I went to the toilet to pass urine again, and I washed my mouth again, and that was full of blood. So after I washed my mouth, I told Swami, Swami, what is happening to me? There was no pain, nothing, no pain, nothing. So I put a bit of vibhuti into my tongue. Then I went to the doctor's room. Doctor asked me to lie down, so I lay down. The doctor said, open your mouth. And then he said, there's no blood. Where's the blood? Only saliva. And then the biggest miracle was just recently, It started maybe in 2019, in around after Chinese New Year. When I walk for a short distance, I feel a bit breathless. So I told the doctor in the clinic, government clinic, please send me to the GH cardio. So when I went to see the cardio, he arranged for me to do a nuclear test. And then he also gave me a medication called Prazada, which is a blood thinner. The blood thinner will not affect your liver or your kidneys, It was a new type of medication. And the best part is the doctor did not charge me any money, for the first dose of 1 month dose. After that, when I did the nuclear test, that was in April. Then I had to do another test, also on June, okay? So after the 2 blood tests and the MRI or whatever you call it, CT scan or whatever, the results came out in August. And then I took a photo of the test results. Then I sent it to one of my Sai brother friend. He's from Kuala Lumpur. He sent it to the IJN specialist, the cardiologist. So the cardiologist told him, tell your friend, go for an angiogram. Don't wait anymore. So I went to Lamoy, the private hospital, to do the angiogram. When I checked in to see the doctor, my blood pressure was 208 over 167. The doctor said anybody else would have a stroke or died. Definitely, don't die also, we have got a stroke with it.
Yeah.
So after the angiogram, he found out that all 3 of the main arteries were 98%
Blocked.
But I don't have any symptoms, no pain, nothing. Not even breathlessness, because I took the prasada, not even breathlessness, But every day without fail, I would take some vibhuti before I sleep. I also had the diabetic problem. And also I have a asthmatic problem. Asthmatic problem suddenly came out. So the doctor said, you cannot do angiogram, cannot do the stent or do the balloon. He said, you have to have a bypass. So before I went to the bypass, I talked to Swami. I said, Swami, please, I need another maybe at least 10 years, of a new life, I want to be here to do your work or my work or whatever, and also see my grandchildren grow up, So when I went into the operation room and everything, before the doctor did an operation on me, he told me, because you are diabetic, you may have a 3 or 5% chance of getting a stroke or having some complication. Anyway, the thing all went very smoothly, The interesting part actually was, when I was in the operating room, I saw the nurses dressing in red, They were taking the patients across my bed, They came back without the patient. So when they came for me, I said, no, I don't want to do operation. I was scared. I was very scared. But I prayed to Swami, I talked to Swami. And then, I think maybe after a few hours, then when they came again, I said, okay, I surrender. I put up my hand, I said, I surrender. And the doctor came and see me. Yesterday, I want to do operation for you. You say you don't want. I'm your friend's doctor, ma. I'm Dr. Lam. I'm going to do your surgery for you. Okay, doctor, go. Let's do it. When I came out from the ICU, I had a very interesting dream. Because I'm in tourist business. So I was taking this European type or Caucasian type of tourist round to the back of the hospital, there was a big fun fair thing, Oh, they enjoyed it so much. They had food, they had all the rides and everything. Then it was time, to take them back, So I took them back to the hotel, and I drove my van back to the hospital. I parked it there. It was close to 12 o'clock at night, midnight. And I told myself, I will see there. Tomorrow I won't wake up already. Swami, please let me wake up. Please let me wake up. I said, Finally, after a few hours of sleeping, I got up already. I was asking the nurse, hey, my wife knows about the operation or not? Has it been successful or not? No, uncle, it's only 4 o'clock. Your wife will already come 8 something. A few times, I think I asked them 3 times, Every time they tell me it's 4 o'clock. Hey, how come I've been sleeping so long here? How come it's still 4 o'clock? According to the Chinese, actually, it was the 7th month of the lunar year,
Okay.
So what I saw was actually the quiz and all that, So the funny thing is, I talked to Swami, I keep on talking to Swami. Even after coming out from the operating room, in the ICU room, I keep asking them, hey, when my wife coming? Give my phone to my wife, Actually, my phone was also all the time with my wife. Because you cannot take anything into the operating room. So every time the nurses tell me 4 o'clock, until will come at 8 something. Why you worry? Don't worry. Go back to sleep. And I could see a lot of people, I see people in the supermarket. I was talking to them. I went to the restaurant. I was talking to them, After that, about 2 days later, they kept me in my ICU. They kept me late, and then they took me back to the normal ward. So when I was in the normal ward, I was just talking to people because I could still see the people, talking, and my wife was sitting beside me. My wife thinks, see this guy, my husband must be mad already, So they sent for a psychiatrist. So the psychiatrist talked to me and then gave me some pills for me to sleep well. Even when I went back to the house, I was talking to myself. Talking to people. My wife was sitting beside me. So I keep on talking to Swami. Usually when you have a bypass operation, you will cough a lot. Every time you cough, it's very, very painful. Extremely, very, very painful. The doctor will give you a pillow so you can hold the pillow tightly so that you won't feel that pain. Most people will only get over the cough after a few weeks or a few months. But because Swami was there in my house, Swami was blessing me all the time, so I recovered very fast. Just after 2 months, I could drive already. My wife didn't want me to drive, but I could drive already.
Wow.
Doctor only told me only after 4 months you can drive. So that was the biggest miracle,
That happened to you.
That happened to me.
Yeah, very blessed.
And during the MCO thing, my wife also started to learn how to cook. And she has been cooking so delicious meals for me and nutritious food for me. I am so grateful to my wife. Thank you and sign up.
Has your life changed before knowing Baba and after knowing Baba?
Before I knew Baba, I was doing a lot of different jobs, like being a hawker, selling this type of food. It was very hard life, Being a hawker was very hard life. And then after knowing Baba, I became something like a tour guide and a taxi driver thing. So that's what I feel like, After knowing Baba, my life became better, smoother. Not so many problems because I know he's behind me, in front of me, around me, inside me, outside me, So I feel more comfortable when I believe in Baba, my life became changed. I had a lot of love for other people. I like to serve other people, doing a lot of seva things and all that. And at the moment also, we are doing seva every night at 9 o'clock. We are chanting the Laksa Asana for the people who need the prayers and the Baba's blessings, And also I'm in charge of 3 groups of chanting groups. So every night before 9 o'clock, we'll pass the names of those who need to be blessed to these chanting groups. And we have 400-500 people chanting all the time, every night nearly,
Okay, what are the side Baba's teaching that is most appealing to you?
To serve all and love all, to serve all and love all. Hurt never and help ever. That's what I feel. It's good.
And who is Sai Baba to you?
Baba to me is God.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. Very interesting story. And Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.